You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, you're good. I'm recording.
So you don't want to do announcements first?
Oh, I can do announcements. Yeah, I was just going to, that's fine. He stopped yelling. Here, do you want to say hi? There, say, there you go. They're just everywhere. They're all on me. Oh no, I can't hold you. Okay.
Say hi.
Okay.
Bye. Hi.
Okay. Bye. Careful, baby. No, baby.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, good job.
Bye.
Oh, I know, Hudsie. Go find a car.
Okay. I will get started real quick. I'm not quite sure what announcements Kim wants to add in, so I will, whenever you're ready, just unmute and start talking. But a couple things that I wanted to go over really quick are Team Cup is February. And for those of you who don't know what Team Cup is, it is a month where you team up with 5 people total team, 1 diamond per team, and basically all of your points combine to get prizes. And they're really fun, and it's just a way to push together as, you know, a team within our big team for big goals. And the one statistic I keep seeing, which is pretty rad, is people who participate in Team Cup see an increase in their earnings by, I don't remember, now I'm gonna butcher it, but basically people who participate have a good growth month in their business, income-wise. They help more people because you're pushing for a common goal with more people who are keeping you extra goal. Go ahead, Kat.
Why are you bringing him back in here? Avery James.
Second of all, I wanted to reiterate one thing that we were talking about last week, which is the photo op on April 14th in San Diego. It is open to everybody on the team. If you want to get professional photos, I have booked a photographer, and it's going to be really, really fun. And if you are a Diamond and Above coach by then and hit Success Club January, February, and March, then I will be gifting you a session to get your makeup done for those photos. And then the last quick announcement I have is the retreat in November is being booked this week in Beverly Hills, and this is going to be put on by all of the diamonds in Hard Hitters, which is like our big grandma umbrella team. It's going to be super fun. We're going to go to the corporate office in Santa Monica. We're going to have another photo shoot, and those photos, you guys, are really for you to have stuff for your storefront, for your social media. You know, professional photos just kind of up your what you have to offer people. And shoot, here we go. And yeah, so I just wanted to reiterate that's going to be in November 7th through the 10th in Beverly Hills. And the requirements for that are going to be diamond coaches and above, and hitting Success Club August, September, and October to qualify for that event. Also, all you have to do is get yourself there in terms of qualifying, and then travel. And then your room is covered, your stay at this gorgeous house we're booking is covered, all of your food, and the activities that we do, the photo shoot, and all of that. So it's a really fun time, and I am excited to spend some time with you guys on that trip.
So my one and only, well, couple things. For Team Cup, we will put up a post in the team page that says, do you want to be on a Team Cup? Avery James. Not right now, sweetie. I'm getting frustrated, babe. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry, guys. There's like, 30 minutes of the day that I get to just be on a video call, and we have to talk right now. So we'll put that post up, and then you can put if you want to be on a Team Cup. So you can comment in that. And then the second thing I wanted to say is Andrea Hilton is our newest Emerald coach. Whoop, whoop. Which is very exciting. She made that goal for the month of January, and it will be announced on Thursday when they rank advance. So, woohoo!
Awesome. Way to go, Andrea. I know that you have been pushing for that, and I'm super proud of you. Okay, real quick. So Kim and I have been talking, and we've been going over what you guys shared in the post that we had go up on Sunday about goals. And that was really helpful to see kind of where you guys are at, what your goals are, and where you're feeling like you're getting jammed up in your day, in your flow of your business. So we wanted to talk about all of that. Our goal on these calls is to come together as a team, work together, but also to help equip you guys to work your businesses more efficiently and to be able to hit your goal. So a lot of you said that your goal for this year is to hit Success Club every single month, which I think is perfect. I think that that should be anybody who is wanting this to be a hobby to career coach level business, then that absolutely should be your goal. I think for a hobby coach, you should be helping 3 people a month. That will cover your costs and grow an income over time. And for a career coach, if you listen to the National Wake Up Call, you heard that startup coach say she's only been in the business for a year. She went all the way to 3-star diamond in 1 year and as a premier coach, which means that she helped enough people on her team build businesses as well in 1 year. And she said what she did, number one, was made Success Club 10 a non-negotiable every single month. And that's helping 5 people. So when you break that down, it's easy for us to say you should hit Success Club every month, but what does that look like? And this is what we talk about all the time, but it takes some fine tuning. It takes some looking at what you're doing every day and making sure that you're hitting those non-negotiables that are moving your business forward, that you are getting that return on your investment of time in what you're actually doing. And you guys know, because I think I say it on every call, that I work this business in the cracks of my day, early in the morning, at nap time, if I even get a nap time where all of them are accounted for, and then when they go to bed. So what does that look like when they go to bed? I am focusing on, you guys know what I'm going to say, inviting and expanding my network are the 2 biggest things that I focus on every day. So I want you guys to really pay attention to, are you doing those specific things every day? And if you are, what is your message? Because maybe you need to fine tune your message. Maybe, if you're sending 10, 15, 20 messages a day and you're not getting any response back, not even like a no, thank you. Or maybe you are getting some responses back, but you're still not having those translate into, yes, please send me the link. Then what are you saying? We would love to help you with that wording. What I do when I feel like I'm in a rut or I'm sending my usual 20 plus invites a day and I'm just not getting much of a return is I reevaluate what I'm saying. I really think of, where am I at in my journey right now? What am I inviting to? And how can I say that in a way, if I'm the person receiving the message on the other side, that it's going to excite me and it's going to inspire me and it's going to make me want to say yes. So for example, I've been sending a very similar message for the past few months about Transform 20. And last night when I sat down to invite, I felt like this is falling on deaf ears and need to mix it up. So I shortened it, kept it short and sweet, and just got back to sitting there and thinking, how would I say this to my best friend? And I literally went to message somebody on my follow-up list today, somebody who I know well, so it's a little bit different, who I followed up with several times. And I typed it out exactly like I would say it to her if she was sitting in my living room. And it was basically like, hey girl, now I am bugging. Yes, I am. Because I scrolled up and I saw a couple messages to her from me after she had said she was interested at one point or another. And I just said, hey girl, yes, now I'm bugging. And it's because I'm on week 2 of this amazing program and it's literally already changing people. We've had people dropping inches and pounds just in these last couple of weeks. And so we decided to open up round 2. It's going to kick off in a couple of weeks. I want you in it. So really think about, where are you at right now? What group do you have coming up? And switch up your messaging. Because to me, if I'm that other person and I've showed any interest, whether it's people liking your stuff, commenting on your stuff, following you, watching your stories, like they've opened that door in some way for you to invite them, right? And then it's like message after message where they're ignoring you, but they're still creeping on your stories. They're still liking your posts, whatever. Well, then how would you say that to somebody who is basically knocking on your door, but afraid to take that next step? Because to me, I think about it as I would be that person creeping and afraid to say yes. So how am I going to break that down to them? Literally just be you. Use your language, how you would talk to somebody. And I literally thought about it like when I talked to one of my best friends into doing Transform 20 last week. How did I say that to her? And I literally said, dude, you just need to do this with us. Like you can continue to make up reasons why you don't want to do it, about why you're unhappy, or you can just do it. You know, I want you guys to find that confidence in your invites, because that confidence really translates into people saying yes. You know, if you hold back and you worry so much about how you're saying it rather than just getting your passion across, then I feel like that might be where some of you are getting jammed up. So I hope that that is helpful from a logistics standpoint, that I'm constantly going back to the drawing board and looking at how am I inviting, what am I saying, what is my message? And I'm also constantly looking at how many people am I inviting? Am I reaching my goal? My goal has been Success Club 20 for the last couple of months, and I've fallen short. So this month, going into January, I knew I'm not talking to enough people. So my goal has been to invite 40 people a day. I'm still not at my goal. So as a business building coach, you have to look at it like that. And I will say, you guys, I say it all the time, I don't do this all day long. My invites, 40 might sound like a lot, but I'm definitely getting my invites done in less than an hour. So that being the meat and potatoes of your business, you know, you're showing up, you're sharing your workout online. Right now, it's like super fun to talk about Transform 20 because we're all doing it. So that part of my business is done by 6 a.m. So when I sit down to invite at night, it's just boom, 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 boom. I'm looking for those people who are following, who are engaging, who are interested, who are creeping, and I'm inviting them. And if you're getting jammed up in expanding your network, then definitely get in a habit of doing the 5-3-1 rule if you're not already. If you're not using Captivate, which we're going to have Miss Maggie do a video into the team page about Captivate, because she has become really well versed in that tool. If you're not using something like Captivate, or maybe you have Android, so you don't have a Captivate app, then use that 5-3-1 rule. And instead of doing what I've done so many times and letting the stop start you, because you're like, I keep hearing these coaches who do that with 50 people a day. If you don't know what the 5-3-1 is, real quick, you are finding, let's say, 20 people a day to start somewhere. You're finding 20 new people through hashtags that you have in common with that person who's in your niche market, and you are liking 5 of their photos, you're commenting on 3 of their photos, and you're following them. Start with 20 people a day. Yes, it will be time consuming in the beginning, but as you go along, it will become a faster process in your business because you'll get more used to it. But if you never start, then you're not going to expand your network, and you're not going to have those people to send the quick invites to whenever you sit down to do a power hour. Those literally are the two I see at all of the business builders on our team. I see you girls showing up on social media. I see you inviting on social media. I see you sharing about the workouts. So if you feel like that's not getting you to your goal, then it really comes down to the invite piece and the expanding the market piece. So evaluate your business and see, where am I getting tripped up? What is not translating to people saying yes to joining the next round? And tweak it where you need to tweak it. And I promise you guys it will pay off for you. Is there any questions about, I know that was a lot, like rapid fire. Are there questions about that? No. Is that helpful or?
Andy, I have a question. You said the Captivate app. What's that?
So it's an app. It's only on iPhone. And
Okay.
I am not an expert in Captivate, so we're going to have Maggie.
Andrea, that's the one I've been telling you about.
Yeah, I can't find it, but I could be spelling it wrong.
You're probably spelling it wrong. Actually, and Maggie's going to host the call or the training on, you just told me. What day did you say, Maggie? You said
I'm gonna do it next Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
She's just going to go into the team page and she's going to host the call. So you can just hop on. You'll have access to it always. It'll be great.
Perfect.
Oh, gosh.
I know, you guys, I feel like I sound like a broken record almost like every team call. And I don't mean to, but I get all inspired every time I hear the next call, and I feel like I keep hearing the same thing, whether it's a coach who's only been doing this 6 months a year, or it's the top 10 coaches we've heard from more recently. They're literally doing the vital behaviors, and some of them are just doing it on a 10x level. They're shooting for top 10, so maybe they're inviting 100 people there or whatever. So it's really about taking those vital behaviors, making sure you are doing those daily dues, those non-negotiables every day. If you listen to the call, heard her say she did not go to sleep at night without doing her checklist. I'm a checklist person. So it's easier for me to have somebody say, do this every day. Talk to this many people, do this on social media, blah, 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 check them off, and then move on. And then you don't have to think about it all day. You don't have to overthink it. I hope you're feeling this way also. I feel like it's so much easier and so much more fun right now doing this business than because we have this brand new program that we're all doing together and we're all doing it as a team. I feel like it's reinvigorated because not only is it January, but we're all doing this together on such a grand scale in terms of getting the word out on this amazing 20-minute program. So use that to fuel your passion and your invites. When you sit down to invite, be excited to reach out to people. If you have to read 5 minutes of You're a Badass or listen to Rachel Hollis for 5 minutes before you go invite, or listen to your favorite song that gets you pepped up, like whatever you got to do, sometimes you need to get in that headspace of like, I'm reaching out to people because this is rad and I want them to have it. That translates to how you talk to people through your confidence, even through your speed of how fast you're sending those messages. Don't feel bad to send messages quickly to people if it's a copy and paste. Who cares? You're not going to retype the same thing 20 different ways when you're saying the same message, if you know what I mean. And then the last little logistics I wanted to share that I've been doing, and I have shared this before, but I feel like I'm fine tuning it a bit better now. So when I don't write down the name of every person I invite every day, I only write down their name literally in the notes app in my phone if I get a response back, even if it's a no thank you. A lot of times it's like a sure, I want more information. I send them more information and I write their name down. And then once a month, typically at the very end of the month or the first or second day of the new month, I go through that whole list and they get a follow-up from me. So that's what I did today. I hit up my follow-up list, and a lot of them, I noticed, I scrolled up and they've received 3 or more messages from me after saying at one point or another they were interested. Now they've ignored me 3 or 4 times. I'm not afraid to message them again, you guys, because my inbox right now is full of those people who've been ignoring me responding. And I haven't looked at all of them yet. I'm sure there's several that are still no's, but they got back to me after 3 to 4 messages. And I just saw the first line of a few of them, and some of them were like, thank you so much for reaching out. I don't know if it's going to be a thank you so much for reaching out, but I'm still not interested. Some of them probably will be. But the point is, you guys, what we have to offer is not something that people are always excited to jump in and do. They need that push. They need that personal invitation. They need that person to be persistent and bug them sometimes. And I think that part's easy for me because I'm that person who needed that. So think who are you in that sense? Like, what did you need to finally say yes? And if you needed to be asked several times, then ask that other person several times, because then they're going to turn around and say thank you. So don't be afraid to do that. So write their name down. If they say anything that you have to go on for the future, write their name down and then follow up with them. I will say after 4 messages, if it's ignore, after 4 messages, I sent that last one and then I delete them off my list. They can continue to creep on my social media because all these people are watching me in some way, but they're going off my list because that's a little, I'm not going to message you again at that point. But that follow-up really is what gets people to finally say yes. You've planted those seeds time after time and time again. And what's also cool is then I go back and I see what I said over the last 4 months. 3 months ago, I wasn't even inviting Transform 20. So today, some of those people, when I went back to them, I was like, look, girl, I know that I invited you to such and such a few months ago, and that was rad, but I've actually moved on to this now, and it's totally catching storm with my group, and all these girls are, blah, 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 blah. So I run with what I have in the moment, and I create that excitement and that curiosity, and I just bring the passion behind it. And it's like inviting right now for me is fun, and I want it to be fun for you guys too. I think that's all I have. I can't see Kim. Oh, there you are. All right. That's my soapbox for the evening. Anybody have any questions about any of that? It's so weird to be on my phone. I'm like toggling back and forth trying to see all you pretty girls because I didn't bring my computer. But anywho, No questions.
Hi. Great job. Do you have to go open presents now?
Something like that.
Um,
Yeah, so I'm gonna listen to you for a little bit.
oh, okay, great. I have nothing but great things to add. Just kidding. I actually don't know. I was just going to kind of go over what a day looks like for me, just to give you, because Andy and I work very differently. We have very different, even though we have 4 kids, we have very different schedules. So it just looks different. But I would say that, you've got to have your non-negotiables, and those non-negotiables have to happen every single day. Just like that girl, this comes from, I'm a list person, if you didn't know that about me. I literally have 4 lists sitting in front of me as we speak, which is kind of overwhelming. But knowing who you're checking in with, who are you wasting time on? Who are you spending time on? Make sure you're spending the time on the right people. I think for a lot of my business, I spent a lot of time talking to people who I didn't need to be talking to, and, checking in. I keep a list that looks like this. This is going to look overwhelming, but basically it's Monday through Friday, and it's everybody who's a Shakeology Home Direct drinker. So those people are people I check in with all the time. Well, Andy and I streamlined. We kind of came up with an idea of rather than checking in with people like that, why not use the challenge group tracker and actually just use the messaging feature and message people that way, because it's a time saver. So making sure that you have your systems in place, on, Thursdays and Sundays, you're sending messages in your tracker. On, maybe Mondays, you're doing all your coach check-ins. Maybe you send a monthly newsletter. That's something that you want to do. All I would say is have what your day looks like, and just make it a non-negotiable to finish it all. So does it look pretty? Do you get to sit down for 8 hours a day and do it? No, probably not. But maybe you get to do it here, and you get to do it there, and you get to do it in the moments of when you have time to do it. Something, and I don't like to really, not that I don't like to say this, but I run an ad out of my Facebook page all the time. I always have an ad running. Now, for new coaches, I don't want to say that and tell you that you have to go invest and pay all this money. But for me, I've had an ad running since the moment I became a coach. And the reason I have that is because that is a constant, that pays for itself like that. Every single person who likes my fitness page is getting a message of, actually, and I changed it today, and I just got a message back. I actually have 2 messages back, this is weird. Andy, I'm kind of using the message you're using right now, or the one I sent that I changed my 21 social to. But I basically I told them, hey, not only can I help you with your fitness goals, but if you want to stay home and work from home and do this as a business, I can help you with that too. And it's really direct. There's no pussyfooting around. Such a terrible saying, but that's what it is. Anyway, and today a girl's yeah, I'd like to do that. Wait, what? No, that did not just work. That just, it kind of cracks me up, because I'm you have to constantly change it. If it's not working, change it. Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We all know what that is. That's Shanti. It's insanity. It's the same program. But that's the definition of that. You got to constantly be changing it up. But anyway, point of my story is I run a couple ads that get people to like my page, and those people all get messages. Well, I at least have 20 a day, 20 new people that I can send that to a day. So if I don't have time to find anybody, I know I can just head over to my Facebook page and send out 20 invites like that. So you decide, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You could literally spend $1 a day, or even less than that if you want. You have a great post that does well, boost it. And if you need help with that, don't be afraid. We'll walk you through how to boost a post, and I know you can do it on Instagram too. I've just never done it. But I know Joey once boosted a post, and she ended up with 700 likes. Well, those are 700 people that she can then go, and even if she did 30 a day, she's got somewhere to pull from, because I think what we waste most of our time doing, especially in the beginning, is finding people to talk to. So why not run an ad that brings in all these random people that you don't know? It's a completely cold market, and just invite them. Be authentic, be you. If your social media platform speaks for itself, then you will never feel bad, and you will never feel like you're inviting a day in the life. And I believe that, because if someone gets a cold message from you, then they're going to go over to your social media and they're going to be like, oh, but she's not cold. Like, she's warm and inviting. Look at her post. She wants me to be a part of her tribe of friends. Like, there's nothing cold. So as long as your social media backs your cold message, it's not cold. Do you know what I mean? You're not coming from a cold place. You legitimately have something to offer these people. You have a way of you have something that works from home that offers freedom. End of story. You should never be ashamed of that. If you let that power every single invite, you're always going to feel good about sending it. Always going to feel good about it. And the people that that turn you down, maybe it's not right now, but I will tell you what, they all come around, especially the ones that even remotely reply. I swear they all come around. So, invest in the people who you committed to. So make sure you're checking in with your challenge group trackers. Make sure you're, commenting back on everybody's posts. And for me, so that I don't scroll social media aimlessly, I sit down with exact things to do. People always ask me, like my actually good girlfriend, we've literally gotten into a fight because she's like, you just don't support any of my posts. Like, you don't ever see anything, and you literally run a business from social media. And I'm like, oh, I actually don't use social media. I don't ever scroll. I don't spend any time. If it populates in my feed in the very first 5 seconds, I might comment. But I don't search, I don't scroll, I go right to what I need to do. So that's why I don't even comment on people's posts. Like if I put up a post right now, I'm not going to even look at it till tomorrow. And when I sit down to do my power, I'm going to comment back on everybody's comments. But that keeps me out of doing the things that I don't need to be doing. And then my last little tip trick, and I'm actually going to share my screen because I haven't shared this in a while. But one of the things that I have done since the very beginning of time is I have to finish up because they're going to all come in here and it's going to be like crazy chaos. Okay. So when it's people's birthdays, you guys can all see my screen, right? When it's people's birthdays, I would be lying if I told you I knew who any one of these people are. I have no idea, actually, except Gary. He used to be a pastor. And this guy, I know him. But these three women, I don't know who they are. That's okay. I'm not going to delete them. What I am going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say happy birthday to them. And then I'm going to go to add to prospective clients, okay? So I'm going to add them to prospective clients. The reason I'm going to do this is because I'm then going to go into friends lists. Now remember, I said I've been doing this since the beginning of so for like 4 years. So I have 1,500 people in here that are just constant. I can just go in here and I feel confident knowing I can invite any of them. So this is just like any single person in here I can invite. So this is just a great way to organize your friends list in social media to have as like a quick guide to sit down and send invites. And if you want to get real specific, if you are a social media scroller, because you do want to build relationships with these people, you can actually just view their feed. It's basically like World War III over here. But you can scroll their feeds. So then you could if you are going to spend time doing social media things, then spend time doing social media things on people that could potentially be a part of your business, is what I was getting at. But anyway, I think that's all I have.
I love
Do
it.
you have any questions about any of that?
Super helpful.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, great.
Awesome, Megan. I know that it can seem like you're going up a down escalator or whatever the saying is, just to get in a rhythm with things. I want to encourage you guys, get in get whatever it is. If it's start 5 invites a day.
I'll get milk.
Expand your network by 5 people on Instagram a day. Whatever it is to get you over the hump of like, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't even know where to start. I'm just not going to do it today. Just start, whatever that number is. And then build on that number. As you get more efficient with your invites, and you get more efficient with relationships on Instagram and on Facebook, then up your game. Start inviting, start expanding your network, whatever it is. But you have to start somewhere. And I feel like with all your talk, I know you're already doing that. So I don't like beat a dead horse on that. But I hope that this was helpful for you guys. We're really trying to bring logistics on this call because that's the way that my brain works. Like these, we want this to work so badly for everybody. One thing that I've been really trying to fine tune is my own social media. I'm constantly going back to the drawing board and going, what is working and what's not? And I'm trying really hard to be super bold about my coach posts lately because I'm not bringing on the number of people on the team that I want to bring on. And it's like, what's holding me back? Because this has changed my life so much. I can talk about the fitness stuff all day long, no problem. And I'm signing up tons of challengers, but where are these other coaches that I'm trying to change their lives through the financial side too? So just thinking about where are you and what do you want this to look like? And then be you and talk about that. I can't even tell you, it's funny because I've been doing this so long, but just in the last month, I feel like my messaging has been a lot more crystal clear on my social media. And it's been helping my conversations with people that I invited 6 months, a year, 2 years ago, where they're like, wait, what? I need to know more about this business. Wait, what? And in my mind, I'm like, gosh, I felt like I talked about the business all the time. Or, I would throw in a Sunday night post about the business all the time. Well, one time on a Sunday night wasn't enough. And I kept hearing every national wake up call after every national wake up call, these girls talking about how they talk about coaching every single day. And you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it like whether you're talking about challenge groups or you're talking about coaching, you're going to bug people. Those are not your people. Those are the people that are never going to say yes to you, that are never going to want anything to do with this. So who cares, right? You have to be in that mindset that you're going to speak to the people who one day are going to say yes, whether it's tomorrow or 5 years from now, because if you're like me, you're going to be in this for the long haul because this can provide that for you. And that's what I want for each of you who want that. So really think about what you want. Where are you in this right now? And just talk like you would talk. Just be you. Don't overthink your messaging on social media. Just picture yourself sitting in the living room with your best friend. How would you say it? A lot of my posts lately, I'm like, how would I say that if my best friend was sitting right there? What would I say about this business? And then I write a post. Because a lot of what I'm saying on my social media right now about coaching is what I said out loud to the people close to me for 5 years. But I feel like I'm finally trying to be better about how I share that publicly. So whatever it is for you right now, really think about that. I hope that helps in, you don't always have to sit and take an hour to write a post. Just sit and pretend like you're talking to one person. Who's that one person you're trying to reach today? Maybe you're fired up after your Transform 20 workout tomorrow morning. Who's that one person you're trying to reach? That one mom who needs you so bad. What do they need to hear right now? Like, I think, what did I need to hear 5 years ago? I need to hear, stop with the excuses. Everybody's just as busy as you are. Whatever it is, that's the angle that I'm trying to come from in my post. And some will, some won't. Who cares? But if you're going to build a business like this, you have to have some thick skin and you have to just be you. And that the people who aren't going to join you or they have something to say, we're never going to join you anyway. So who cares? That's my motto right now.
I was going to add one. If you've ever read Eat That Frog, definitely spend some, when you go to look at your day ahead and maybe you're busy and maybe you've got, but one thing I find, like, when you're thinking about the business and right when you go into your day, what stresses you out? It's usually what you're going to post on social media. Are you ahead in your stories? Have you invited to anything? And at this point in the game, like, you should be inviting to every single day in your stories. Like, there should always be some sort of invite going out, whether it's vocal, whether it's a post, a legit one, whatever. But I think about the thing that makes it seem stressful. For me personally, the very first thing I want my post already written, because I know that come dinner time, I don't want to be sitting here on my phone. So what does it look like? I write all my posts right in it's like the very first thing I tackle, because then it's done for the day, and it doesn't matter where I go or what I have to do. Those posts are done. So whatever that is for you, make that what you do first, basically my point in the story. But I think that will help a lot.
All right. I didn't want to interrupt you, but we'll go back in a minute. That was a great tip, Kim. It's true. With that
Maybe and I would say it's the invites, right? It's like invites and birthday. I mean, and I live with, like, I don't even know what he is. What?
Gotta go. Thanks for being on.
Anyway, yeah. Well, as much as I'm sure you guys all want to hear the saddest kid in the world, maybe someone wants to come over and take over. Send help, SOS. Anybody have any lasting thoughts or questions or, anything?
This is good.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So when you started doing all of your connecting and inviting through Facebook and all that, did you just expand your existing page, like your own personal page, or did you then separate your two pages, like your fitness page and your personal page?
So I ran my business from my personal page forever. And I created a fit page, a business page, also right at the exact same time. At the exact same time. So I did, I basically did it all at the exact same time, but I would post everything the same. So it didn't really make sense. And you're going to find when you first start a fitness page, any business page on Facebook, you get zero attention. The Facebook gives you like no likes. And it's because they know that you're running a business for free on a platform. Okay. So anyway, it can be really frustrating because I feel like you're just like posting on this platform and nobody's even seeing anything. I'm even to this day, like I'm going through like a low on my Facebook business page. I have no idea why. Who knows? There's probably some rule I'm broken and I don't know about it, because Facebook's so massive that they can't really tell you what it is. But like I might get 0 likes, but I'm still having conversations with people who are liking my page. So I like having the business page because eventually I knew I wanted to stop using my personal page, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I
don't think it's essential. I think it's fine to use your personal page. I mean, that's how I built my business all from the beginning. That's how, that's where all my coaches came from. That's where everything came from. And I wasn't very IG savvy, so I had no idea what even to do over there. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But
You're doing a great job, Nikki, on your page, on your IG page. Because you started a Fit with Nick page, like almost immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing all the things.
Do all the things.
Well, and I feel like Instagram is just so much easier to build. People, I don't know, it's more authentic. I feel like Facebook business pages. It's obviously it does great things for me, but I feel like Instagram has blown up in the last 3 years and has become more socially acceptable to sell your product, but it doesn't come off pushy, if that makes sense.
Right.
So,
yeah.
My only last other tip would be something that's I found helpful as a new coach. Unless you play the comparison game hard, find some top coaches that you really resonate with, because I feel like you feel kind of lost and sometimes you're like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to post. Like I was talking to a new coach today and she's like, I have nothing. And my husband doesn't want to be on social media. I have a cat. Like I don't have anything to show. Like I don't have cute kids. I don't have anything not that she doesn't have kids at all. Not that she doesn't have kids. That sounded terrible. But she doesn't have anything. So she's like, for me, I have no idea what to post. Well, I'm like, well, go and find a coach that is similar to you in all of your life, and not to say copy her stuff, but go along with what she's posting in the beginning. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like if you can get inspired and you can get, some ideas I will tell you that I will watch like stories. Like I don't always have the most creative thing. Like I've just done, so I watch what top coaches are doing. I'm like, oh, that was really cool. I'm going to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do find it helpful, like very helpful.
Where do you even find like a list of coaches? Yeah.
I would go to Beachbody Champions, the Facebook page. That's a great place to look to see who's kind of in the top, because the top people are doing the videos, right? Like they're the ones that are, sharing on that page trainings, or they're doing the National Wake Up Call. So I would start there. And then also you can get the I'm trying to think of where else you can see that list of.
I just added you to the Beachbody Champions page, Nikki.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say Beachbody Champions. You're going to find pretty much everybody. And then when you listen to the National Wake Up Call, listen to when they put up the list of who all the top Success Club sellers are for the month. Write them down. I heard a new girl today and I was like, oh, who are you? And I went and looked her up. I'm like, oh, you're a great one to follow, cause she just had a baby. And I was like, oh, let's see if there's something different, than what I've kind of got going on. So that's kind of what I do.
And Nikki, a good one. Also, one of the top coaches is Ashley Smith Fitness on Instagram. She's a great one to follow, and she has a lot of following from other Beachbody coaches. I started with her, and then I found like Melanie and the rest. And I like what Ashley does in her stories. She's really and then I do what Kim does too during national calls. I go follow them immediately.
Okay.
I don't think do you know the National Wake Up Call? It's every Monday morning at 8.
Mm-mm.
Where is a link on our
We post it every Afton posts it in the team page every Monday morning as a reminder.
And if you don't see it, Nikki, Carl for Beachbody, he posts it too. So like today I'm rarely on Facebook. I'm an Instagram chick. So he is on, I follow him and it popped up and I was like, oh, I gotta go listen to it.
You can listen to the replay too, anytime throughout the week.
You can also if you like podcasts, they have a Beachbody podcast. You can listen to it there. It's pretty much everywhere. We actually started posting it in the tribe too. So it's just basically everywhere.
Okay.
Andy shared it into the team page today. It's also in tribe from yesterday. So yeah, you can pretty much find.
Okay.
We are, and they're just really inspiring stories about women who made it work,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think, not trying to follow all of them, because I feel like there are a couple people I was following for a while and I'm like, I just feel like it's like a bad comparison game. And I'm like, this isn't healthy. Like but I feel like the ones that you glean from and are actually like, oh wow, that's like really cool. Like you're getting ideas versus comparing what they're doing.
Right.
It's sort of like where I spend my time. Like, I'm like, well, like I'm kind of at that place where I've been posting the same workout AM selfie for basically 4 years now. And it's like, is that good anymore? Like maybe Kim, you need to change up your, what's going on? What's everybody else doing in the world, in the Beachbody land? And, I instantly all of a sudden found myself like, well, they're making it almost, like the people who are like, who make millions of dollars by just being an IG, what are they called? Influencer. and all their photos are like picture perfect and everything is like, you know, I'm like, oh, maybe I should start trying to make those happen. But I'm like, that's not real life. That's not who I am. Like, what are you doing? It's not who, like, your life isn't perfect lighting, and you know, you work out in a garage and it's freaking freezing, and you know, sit in front of your heater till you warm up, and then you start sweating and you're fine. But like, that's your reality, Kim. You got it. You know, you're not going to win people over by like making the perfect light and making your children, bribing them with Skittles so they will pose perfectly and smile. Meanwhile, they're going to go scream at me 30 seconds later. So, you know, just, I feel like being you is always going to be the best thing to do. So
I could do that.
we can do that. We can all do that.
Thanks, lady.
You're welcome. Okay. Anything else? No? All right. Well, we got, what, 1 week left of the month? A little bit more. Week and 3 days. So let's go and finish the month strong.
Sounds good.
Raw. Here, let's take our picture. We forgot Andy. Oh, well. You can emoji her in. Okay, ready? Cheese. Okay, I will post all this in the team page. And if you have any other questions that pop up, let us know.
Sounds good.
Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.